Hello, everyone. This is the Drexel Freethought Society, and this is our and this is our. You're gonna be trouble.
I'm always in trouble. It's okay.
All right, this is our weekly podcast. This week is going to be Intoctrination. Ooh.
We're all indoctrinated.
Yes, we are. That's what is going to come up later. And I just figured out your shirt. That's awesome.
Bacon.
I would love to receive bacon. Okay. God, we're already off on a horrible start. My name is Dave McDevitt. I'm the president of whatever this is, can be called, I guess, for an organization. A few general announcements that are wonderful. The website has been fully updated with all new fancy programming. And, it's updated. Go check it out at drexelfreethought.org. You can view our podcast there. You can see blogs written by some of our regular podcasters.
Which are not up yet.
Yeah, they don't exist yet. But they will. Anybody's welcome to join the website, so you can join us in our forum, comment on all of the comments on the podcast, comment on our blog, comment like crazy. Join whenever you feel like.
That would be better, so please go.
Yes, do it right now. Stop listening to us.
No,
Wait,
listen
don't
to what you do.
both. At the same time, you can join us on our on the Facebook page, on our Twitter. You can join our live chat right now. You have to log into Ustream, make a free account, and then you can join. You can chat with us live. You can also email us at drexfreethought@gmail.com and ask your questions whenever you want. Let's just get started so I can stop babbling. Intoctrination. Horatio wanted to give us a little story, so he can start.
I kind of got strong-armed into giving the story, but...
He said you wanted to.
Alright, so I guess the idea of indoctrination is naturally going to lead up to people growing up believing in a certain religion and eventually coming
on.
What's
wrong with that? Like, believing in a certain religion. I don't see why you guys are so against it. Like, religion is such a bad thing.
I'm Christian.
I just think, like...
What are you talking about?
Every conversation we have, it's just like, why you guys believe in what you believe? Like, well, what's wrong with believing in something?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay.
Let me finish my story.
Sorry.
I have so many comments on what was just said. Your story first.
Alright, so, as I said, I'm a Christian. My parents are Christian, so I grew up in the church. Pretty much, for as long as I can remember, at least until when I moved to New Jersey, I've been going to church. So, eventually that led me to being baptized and kind of leading into me becoming a Christian myself and sort of picking up their religion. But I believe what kind of separates me from other people is that prior to being baptized, I really kind of sat down and thought about why I believe my religion, what makes it different from others, why do I feel this one is correct in my opinion compared to like other religions, like why would I choose Christianity over say like Judaism or Islam and things like that. And that's sort of where I feel the distinction comes in, where a lot of Christians just kind of follow blindly what other people tell them to and don't really go into that like self-meditation, self-thought over why they believe what they believe. And that's kind of the Cliff Notes version of my story, and we can go into more of it if people feel like it.
All right.
That gives you the starting point.
That's a good starting point. Well, okay.
Are you going to really totally kill me afterwards?
Well, go ahead. I'm not going to kill anybody.
Not
yet. Okay. It's just the first thing I wanted to say was just in response to your original random comment that came out of nowhere. There's no problem believing in anything. It's the one thing that I urge people is to believe things for good reasons. And more often than not, people that believe in certain religions do not believe them for very good reasons.
What do you mean?
I believe it because I was told to believe it. I believe it because it's written in this book.
Wow.
That's also not a very good one.
Or
So,
I believe it because some guy told me it was true.
yeah, I urge people to believe things for, like, even if it's just for personal, completely personal reasons. That's a fine reason to believe something. I think there are better reasons, but that doesn't matter. If it's personally good for you, that's great. But that doesn't mean it should be encouraged.
So you're saying that
But look,
you
no.
should definitely.
To continue, the reason that I don't like the belief by itself is because a lot of times it's forced on people. So I think children should come to a religious belief by themselves if they choose to, not have it forced on them. And even forcing on them doesn't mean like read this book or I'll beat you with it. I don't mean that forcing. I mean parents consistently telling children this is what is real and you should believe it because it's real. That's a more subtle, but it's just as much indoctrination as anything else. And it's dangerous. I don't like people who do that. That was my comment on that. Yes, it is. It's good now.
Well, I agree with you that you shouldn't like blindly believe everything that you hear or what you're told, but there's always a belief, there's a certain amount of faith that you have. Like you don't know everything, so there is a certain level of faith. Do you think that's wrong as well?
Kind of. Like, what about like, I don't know, classic example. I think things will fall to earth because of an understanding of the theory of gravitation.
But that's includes facts.
Yes. So there is no faith in there.
Yeah, there's certain things that you have to have a level of faith in. Like
I don't think you should. I don't think you should have faith in anything.
why not?
Faith is dangerous
Why is it dangerous?
because it causes you to believe things for no reason.
But what if you have a reason, but it's not
If you had a reason, you
logical?
wouldn't have faith.
I think we should
Like-
say if you have knowledge,
Just
there's
like-
no reason for you to have faith. I think that's what we should
But
say.
faith is it's kind of aggressively saying it, but faith is the excuse people get when they don't have a good reason to believe in something.
But what if I say I believe in the existence of like God because of the existence of the earth and all that, like people and everything else, like
It's like, that is better than just saying I believe because of faith, because that's not answering the question of why you believe in something, but that's a completely different discussion. I'm saying that's better than just saying faith, but I still don't think it's a very good reason.
So what about Horatio saying that like the reason that he picked Christianity over anything else was because like he looked into it and that like he felt that this was a good thing to get into.
Yeah, good job. Have fun with that.
Okay. I enjoy it.
It's like I'm much happier that you actually thought about it and you've been thinking about it, and I imagine you continue thinking about it. That's much better than most people.
Okay. So since I think we've kind of, this topic kind of, or at least this train of thought kind of ended, really. It's not really nothing. I would say, what do you think makes indoctrination dangerous?
It's like, that's why I wish Simone was here, because she would know much more about the psychology behind it. But the little bit that I know about like childhood development is they are wired to believe whatever they're told as absolute fact. Because with no question. And it makes sense.
But I doubt that because children are always questioning.
It's a certain age, like in a certain age range. Like of course there's the like petulant child age, but before
I know,
that.
they want to know a reason for everything. I'm like,
Well, yeah.
Why?
Yeah, but before.
Why?
You don't think you're gonna
No,
have why?
that's before that it makes a lot of sense, because it's like, the examples I hear people go like, don't go near that cliff.
Why?
Don't touch that fire.
If
Why?
if a child actually scientifically exercised their logic, they would be killed. So it's evolutionarily advantageous to listen without question to what parents say for a while.
I
And
question everything.
Not originally. And I guarantee you there's stuff that you're indoctrinated with.
Well, I know that.
And we'll
I won't disagree with that.
we'll get into other indoctrinations in a bit, but like the childhood flag, it's a good thing it's good for your survival to listen blindly to what your parents say. So when your parents go, don't touch the stove, don't eat that, it'll kill you. You're like, all right. You should sacrifice a goat every Tuesday of the 4th month. Oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. I should do that.
Huh?
Exactly.
That's a sense of extremism.
I wish it was. But I mean, like, things that make no objective sense, you'll believe is absolute fact without questioning because your parents told you, or somebody told you at a really impressionable age. This is why I don't like indoctrination, because you could tell people you should hate Jews.
No, you should hate everyone. If they're not what you are, you should always hate them.
Okay.
She doesn't represent our group.
No, I represent the belief of 90% of the population.
I'll argue less than that. I'll say represent the
No, you see.
1%.
No, you represent like 90% of the U.S.
Yeah, exactly.
Go to other countries, they love people.
Well, okay, I meant the population of the United States, sorry. Let me clarify.
This is like the Futurama bit. It's like, the United States is part of the world. Wow, the future really did change. We think we think we are the world. We're not. We're an extremely large chunk of the continent.
And we don't even represent that much people.
Nope. But we control so much with so much righteous abandon.
Thank you, Deep South.
Anywho.
Yeah, I can have my guns silent.
And your backwards beliefs.
Are we all following like the news recently?
Yes.
Like Aiken and Fisher.
Oh, the second guy?
Yeah, the second guy was like, he's completely right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, somebody agrees
So
with
Google.
All right, so for those who don't know, it's completely off topic. Actually, it probably isn't. These people have been trained to be idiots.
Yeah.
That's
Republicans.
Kind of,
Yeah.
kind of indoctrination.
To be trained to be an idiot.
An example of Christian Science.
What is Christian?
Exactly. There's no
They
science.
teach science and they relate it to the Bible.
No, I'm saying Christian Scientists.
Oh, Christian.
It's, medicine's evil. You should never go to a doctor. The
Okay.
only way you can cure anyone is by praying. Countless numbers of children have already died. And you can't stop them. Yeah, sorry. You can't stop them.
So,
Because they're technically within their rights.
Atkins, go back to topic.
Atkins.
Oh yeah, so anyway, this is really a topic, but he flat out said that if a rape case results in pregnancy, then it was not a legitimate rape. And the reason for it is because if a woman is undergoing the trauma of rape, then her body naturally shuts down the ability to get pregnant. Yeah.
And
the Fisher guy agreed with him.
But Mitt Romney and Ron Paul both disowned his ass.
I know.
He basically
Yeah,
got
but they
exiled
don't
by
believe
his
that.
party.
And that's amazing. That this guy is so crazy that like people that are like dubbed crazy won't even go near him.
I think that's a good thing.
That's just saying like I'm actually impressed that someone could be that stupid.
Maybe
There's no way of that kind of
maybe
video.
No, but
they're
no, but
very, very indoctrinated.
It's well.
So,
Rallying followers can be considered indoctrination in terms of like growing your political base. Like say you hold a rally.
Like if we actually want to segue into that, politics. Politics is just as indoctrination.
also,
It's just like you should be a Republican. You are a Republican child. No, it is. No, they're not. Children are old enough to understand what the hell's going on. So
and once they do, they'll probably be already indoctrinated to hell. More or less. So, like, I know I'm a Democrat, mostly because my parents are Democrats, but by now,
it's a political
thing.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, now I realize I'm at a point of view that, okay, Republicans are not going to steer us right. Democrats aren't going to steer us right.
You see, this is the problem with the entire political indoctrination. There is no such thing as these parties. These parties will never perfectly match the things that you actually want to happen.
That's why I said that the Republicans will steer us off the cliff. The Democrats will steer us off the cliff.
But they're just
And there's no reliable third party.
No, there are plenty. Just no one knows about them.
Yeah,
Exactly. Therefore, the third party will never come to power.
Yeah, it'll never come to power because we've been trained that we are, what is it?
Binary system.
Yeah, we're not.
I
We never
know.
were.
And I realize that. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're absolutely right. It's completely ridiculous.
But I was trying to say that the Democrats will drive us off an edge, the Republicans will drive us off a different edge, and...
We're all just standing on a little plateau where we're just hoping we won't die.
Exactly.
And every direction will lead to our doom.
It doesn't do it.
I'll just let you know, Crazy Girl is back online.
So,
Crazy girl.
sorry?
A bot.
No. I don't think she's But she did mention that the definition of faith, you can have faith in reasoning, one is emotional, and one is rational.
Like, I have faith my code will work. I have a faith. And
You
they-
see, I don't think this
Which
is
complete
I
trust
like-
or confidence in someone or something is the definition of faith.
Yes, I think that's just as bad.
But I don't think having faith that something works, knowing that the people who made it know what the hell they're doing,
No, that's not faith though, because
that's absolute confidence.
Well, yes, if you have an absolute confidence it'll work regardless of any other situation, then yes, that's an unreasonable faith. But I mean, if you're just like, I think this phone will work because of an understanding that the company is good at the things they design, that's evidence. Like, I'm holding it.
I think what the definition was just said is, you can have faith either based on reasoning or based on pure, well, nothing.
Emotions.
Like, I don't see what the difference, I don't see how you can, if
So
I
one
say,
is
what's
faith
the
is
difference
evidence,
something
and the other one is not.
Okay, the way I see it is like if you emotionally or have faith in
No.
something.
Crazy girl, you're wrong.
That's just gonna come.
Yeah, she's gonna come kick David's ass.
I don't think, she doesn't go here.
Somebody come
I don't
and like
remember
disagree
actually.
with David.
I just did.
Try me.
I just did.
It's fine if you disagree with me, go crazy. We'll have a good
I'm already
discussion.
crazy, it's okay.
Anyway, for Tori's example
I'm only
is like,
50% there.
when you all talk or laugh at once, my eardrums hate you.
Sorry.
No, no, like, the example that she gives is like, you do have faith in gravity. If I say, what is the chance of something falling when I drop it, you will say 100%, but it isn't 100%. That is true. And that's why, but you see, the reason that it's not really a faith thing is because we have a comprehensive understanding of the effects of universal gravitation. We understand the math. Like, it's sort of like saying that what are the chances of something falling up? That's technically, if you like drop something, you ask which direction is it going to fall. It's pointless to actually say, like, technically, it falling directly down is like astronomically unlikely, but it isn't. It's not governed by chance. It's not governed by faith. It's governed by understanding laws about the universe. Not faith.
But things never fall directly down.
Well, no. They fall toward bodies of mass.
Yes, exactly.
And this
So,
is
if
what
it was
having...
Jupiter, they'd be, flying towards Jupiter because it had a greater
Yes, it would.
gravitational pull.
But hopefully we'll never be flying toward Jupiter.
People want to be flying towards Jupiter, like, well, not people, but like,
Not so much people. Scientists. They're not real
yeah,
people.
they're not. They're just a bunch of crazy people that decided to, come together and come up with things that actually are true.
And they invented global warming.
We did not invent
Sorry.
global warming. It just happened.
We didn't invent it, we discovered it.
No,
Are you sure about that?
we made
Global
it-
warming-
No, we made it happen. No,
Global
like,
warming
oh.
happened.
I know.
It happened before we even existed.
True.
We just made it
accelerated
bad.
process.
It's just that we investigated.
Yeah.
So back to faith.
And now
Sorry, you're
creation
mixing like 3 different types of sciences and not understanding what any of them are.
What are you talking about?
Actually, you can have this one.
Thank you.
We need Dante to read off this one.
Okay.
And that's on our website. You can view the stream live.
Different method. I don't
Technology.
Somebody fix
So,
it.
speaking of,
Okay. Well, okay, just to refer,
is Texas still on that anti,
I think they are.
thinking?
as far as I know, I don't see why they would change.
Does it change as the universe expanded?
What?
It says physics literally changed as the universe expanded. And I'm like,
Show evidence of that.
OMG, Dante, somebody's messaging you on Facebook.
Don't do it personal.
No, it just popped up.
All right. So anyway, just to go through Crazy Girl's explanation of things.
Does she have a real name? Classified.
Tori.
Okay. Hi,
Your
Tori.
classified information.
Tori, asserting there's proof doesn't mean there's proof.
That is so weird.
But anyway,
I can see myself.
okay, you saying that the various cosmological constants change. So what? That just means they changed, and they changed for a reason. And we can understand the processes in which they changed. The universe expanding, for example. That doesn't mean we have faith in anything. That means we just adjust what our experiments are doing. We adjust how we interact with the universe as things change. Like things dropping. Like I don't have any trust that it drops. I drop it and wait to see what happens. If it falls up, I'll be like, damn, I want to find out why that happened. It has nothing, I have no faith in any of this. I don't see why you'd need it.
My problem with indoctrination, especially when it deals with
Yes.
religion, especially
Yes,
in
I
America.
do.
That,
Sorry.
it's when people, because like I actually had this, I was on Facebook, and I was discussing how a lot of people, you know, they do things that are detrimental to the society, to their family. And somebody just decided to just jump in and throw and spout a bunch of parroted, regurgitated biblical stuff. Just out of nowhere. Like I was talking about how there's people who walk around and, you know, they go on welfare and they spend their money on unnecessary stuff instead of taking care of their children. And then somebody just started posting Bible stuff. And I requested the person, can you please, no offense, but can you please think for yourself? Do not parrot the Bible, because what you're saying is not even making any sense. It's actually just trying to throw God at me or throw Jesus at me and tell me to believe in him because everything will be okay. You know, so when you have people that go around and say that, oh, God's here, so everything's going to be okay. God's here, everything's going to be okay. Instead of actually taking action to alleviate the issues, that's where it gets really dangerous. Because if you imagine if the entire world, like also just right now, you know, some kind of brainwashing happened, and everybody just said, God will take care of everything, just pray and do nothing.
That happens a lot. That happens a lot.
Not every single individual.
Not every single individual.
Yeah, well, I'm saying,
But organizations do.
yeah, there's organizations that do that. That's scary. You know, you rely on something that you basically have very little, if any, evidence at all on, and just stand there and think that the deity is going to take care of it.
I'm sorry, God is not going to just throw down food at you. You have to actually go and, like, plant stuff, harvest it, process it.
Exactly. You know what I mean? If you believe in your God, that's fine, but do something to fix the problem.
God is often an excuse, effectively.
But you can't have faith alone. You have to have faith, but actually do something in order to get you somewhere. You can't just be like, oh.
Well, then what's the point of having the faith? As like as a motivation.
Yeah, like, that's the way I think.
Well, I was going to say that I remember one TV show where a rabbi was guesting in it, and he was like, he specifically mentioned, use the thing that God gave you, that little brain in your head. He's not going to give you everything. You got to go and take it. You can't have some faith that someone else take care of it.
Yeah, like, nobody else is going to study for my exam for me. I have to go and study for it, and depending on how much I study, how much I understand, it's the grade that I'm going to get.
This is all music to my ears, but this is the problem. Is not everyone thinks this.
Yep.
A lot of people think that this goes back to the whole entitlement discussion, that by virtue of being born as a godly being, that means they are entitled to a whole bunch of stuff.
Like, we can say everyone's a godly being, that everyone entitled.
That's what some people think. Or it gets even worse when you're in like a special religious club, where it's like Latter-day Saints or something, just to be like, we are the chosen people. I guess it's not Latter-day Saints. It's not
I'm
like
sorry, everyone thinks they're the chosen people. Jews think they're the chosen people.
Jews are
Whatever
you got
organization.
physical about it.
Yeah, like I'm saying.
The Jews don't care what you do as long as you leave them alone.
Anybody?
Yeah, exactly. We don't care after the First Crusade when people decided, you know what, let's go kill Jews.
Let's just kill everyone.
They
Why
just
not?
scapegoat.
Exactly. Leave us the hell alone.
Like, I remember when I was,
As long as you guys leave us alone.
at one time, I believed in God when I was a kid. My family wasn't very religious. It was just like, whenever something happened, just pray. That was the excuse. So, I was about, I had this, and see, this is where coincidence comes in. There's no proof that God did this. In fact, I kind of lied to my mother about something I'll get to in a second. There was this person picking on me in high school.
I promise I'll tell.
I told her myself. She wasn't very good. In any case.
Okay.
There was this person that bullied me in high school. Much taller guy. You know, always trying to start
Really
fights
just
with
your
me.
short name.
And you know, I was, you know, I came home one day very upset, you know, because I don't fight. I'm just not a pugilistic person. And she told me, well, just pray to God and He'll go away.
Yeah.
So at the time, I was still between, do I believe in God, do I not believe in God? I was really confused at the time, but I prayed anyway. And I went to school the next day, and God kept bothering me. I stood up to him, told him to F off, all that kind of nonsense.
And I'm going to say God gave you the courage to do that.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people would say. A lot of people would say that. But
I have a story after this one.
And he still picked on me a little bit afterwards. But then as time went by, you know, I started standing to him more and more. I eventually somehow gained his respect or whatever. And he finally left me alone. And then I told my mom, she was like, yeah, see, God did that. God did that. And I thought to myself, like, no, I've been planning how to deal with him for a while. It wasn't God, it was me. I took action. God didn't just instill something and say, man, leave Dante alone. No, I stood up to him. I sat there and thought about how I'm going to deal with the situation, and I took care of it myself. So there's no real evidence that says that God said, poof, Dante, you're a superhero. You can stop this film.
Yeah, okay. Two things. One of them, there is like a parallel story to that. I read this like a short article about this guy. He had like horrible leg surgery, and he had to go to rehab, and it was the most horrible experience of his life. But he was like, damn it, I'm going to walk again. And he did. He walks perfectly fine now. Like it was fantastic. It was perfect.
Willpower.
It was wonderful amount of willpower. And like everyone around him was always just like, oh, God must have given you the strength to push through. And he's like, God didn't do shit. I did this. I worked through this. If God wanted me to do better, He wouldn't have had that truck hit me. It's like people saying that God helped you did it, like thank you Jesus or whoever, it doesn't really matter. Thank you Thor.
Thank you, parents.
Well, there's no right science.
No, but even no, I mean like doing all of that, it diminishes your own accomplishments. It's like I couldn't have done this without God. This goes back to the whole submission discussion we had before. Religion has like an inherent, you must be broken. And once you're broken, the only way to fix yourself is through Jesus.
Yeah,
or Jesus analog.
That bothers me a lot. Is when people downplay themselves. It's like not with everybody, but with a lot of religious people, they have like this low self-esteem. They you know, it's like the preachers or the pastors or whoever the human authority is as far as religion goes, tell them that you are worthless or you are broken or you are a mistake, and the only way you can fix yourself,
you are born in sin,
and the only way you can fix yourself is through Jesus or through whatever God.
Or Christ.
Or Christ, even though they say money is the root of all evil, but they're also asking for tithe. But that's another story. In any case, like what happened, there was a.
I'll just correct that one. It's not money.
Well,
the love of
hold on, I'm almost there. Hold on.
I'm
almost there. Hey guys,
give me a pen.
Can I continue, please?
Somebody give me a pen.
No.
Somebody give me a pen.
There was a picture on YouTube going around. It said something around the lines of,
I'm
there was a bunch of doctors, and they were
and
curing a patient of something because money is the
Quality.
and somebody complained that,
Charity.
no one gave
You are
Jesus
wrong.
credit for healing this patient, but they give credit to all the doctors. And I was like, why not? I was
Good
like,
point.
Jesus didn't come down and say, and I'm healed. No, a bunch of doctors who spent years and years and years studying their craft all joined together to heal this person of this deadly disease. Jesus didn't come down. I mean, apparently there's a whole bunch of people in the, what are you telling me, the doctors all just stood there and Jesus was operating and made this person feel better? And I was like, no. I was like, give these people credit. These people put so much years and time and sweat and tears and everything and money to do what they're doing now. And you're demeaning them by telling them that some random being that you have no proof of came down and did your job. That's disrespectful to the person who saved your life. That's how I feel.
I wanted to comment on Tori's thing, and then we probably could move on to other various indoctrinations. Thank you.
You can't throw up on that. Come on, it's just the most recent comment. So hot. What am I looking for?
Scrolling further up, you should like wrote a whole essay.
Anyway, you said something about something being fake, but it's not. I can't see it anymore. But even so, to your most recent comment, Tori, and to everyone that's listening to Tori Fran's comment, because everything that is part of God, you cannot get anything without God's blessing. This is what we call a cop-out. You're defining the situation in which, to a degree, in which you can't lose, or to which you can't lose. If you define, I could say, everything in the world is David's domain, thereby I'm always right. Defining something like that is not helpful, and it doesn't really get you anywhere. But anyway, to the faith thing, I think I remember what you said. It was like having complete trust in something. I don't have complete trust in pretty much anything.
Did you hear the comment?
Which one?
I don't understand.
Close it right now.
I don't understand why not. And therein lies the problem. Saying that you're defining the situation, saying that everything is within God's domain. You have no evidence of this. You are just declaring it by fiat. And then from that, you're extrapolating that because everything is part of God's domain, God gets credit for everything. And then you can build off of that in any direction you feel like. You have to start at, the first thing you have to say is whether or not the God exists, and then you can start talking after that.
But you can't prove that existence.
Yes. So you
That's
can't.
why people have faith, because they can't prove it.
I know.
What they're saying
And that's the problem.
No, the problem with the faith is that it's being stated as a fact. That's where it's a problem.
But it's not a fact, it's faith. You believe in something. You're not
But
saying that it's a fact.
But these people get confused what a belief is and what a fact is. They think
Well,
their
that's
belief
stupid. No one
is
has
fact.
a dictionary.
And there's a lot of
If people own dictionaries, we don't have this problem.
That's a
Well,
fact.
if you don't own
No,
it,
you
go to the
cannot.
library.
But
That's like
you're making a
every
positive
single
claim that
thing.
he-
If people knew it through libraries, where we wouldn't have that problem.
By the way,
It's like if I could
Every
do
town, I promise.
Well, hold on, sorry about this.
Tori hates this right now.
so, what Great Girl just said is that in Judaism, you can't get by on faith alone. And that, essentially, that's what we were, yeah.
But how can you get, like, if you believe in something, you have a certain amount of faith. If you can't prove something to be fact, then you rely on faith. You can't say that fact.
You can believe that, like,
faith.
you can okay, make sure you keep with faith, because you can believe something based off of evidence.
Not saying faith, like you have
Like, I
faith.
believe Dante's right here, because of a whole lot of constantly accumulating evidence.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
But he might not be there. That's why I don't have an absolute faith that he is there.
You're saying that
I know, that's what I'm saying.
since you cannot get by, you cannot get by on faith alone. But what facts do you have?
Of what?
I'm asking
Oh.
crazy girl.
Give us some evidence.
Yeah, like what facts?
We demand
It
evidence.
was like I was saying, when you use the whole God.
Feel free to write us a long email to Describe me your evidence that I got
Oh,
it.
I
When you start throwing out your faith as facts,
She can't hear us.
like David said, you have to be able to prove that. You can't just create something.
She said, I have written 3 papers.
Send them to me. Or send them to us, I'll post them on the website.
Whatever.
That's like me conjuring up the idea
Yeah,
of
that's
a
us.
tap dance
Yeah.
and rhesus monkey. And disprove it. That doesn't
Oh,
work.
you're outlaw, okay.
Yeah, he is.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I would not recommend posting your number on the
Yeah, I
internet.
wouldn't do that either.
Oh,
This will be-
Facebook now.
Yeah, there's a lot of corrections.
Off the fortune.
She said, I don't care. Well, when some serial killer gets your number and finds out your address, I'm sorry.
We do not, we are not going to be held responsible for the actions of others. Anyway, other types of indoctrination. One thing I really wanted to like go on to is patriotism.
Ooh,
That was kind of cool.
the American.
You guys should ooh also.
The American way.
I am so intrigued.
So,
like those ultra.
You got like that getting so hot and bothered.
yeah.
So you're talking about people like ultra
Oh,
nationalists.
boy.
I'm sorry, I was distracted.
You're talking about people like ultra nationalists that believe that.
No, I'm saying at the most basic level, being proud to be an American. Why the hell are any of us proud to be American?
Because
Yeah, the way
you have
government has it.
you have rights in this country that you do not have in other countries.
Do we?
Speaking as a female, yes,
What?
Such as?
Repeat.
such as being able to vote.
Why?
Debatable.
In some nations, I would not be able to vote. I would not be able to drive. I would not be able to get
No, it's
education.
debatable if our votes even matter.
Can I just pretend that they matter?
Makes you feel better.
Indoctrination. We're
My vote matters. I haven't voted ever.
no, I'm saying like now with the new electronic system, like our votes, they could just say like, all right, the entire American people voted, but we want this person to win, so we're just going to change it.
But that happens anyway, like.
I've been in Florida.
No, it doesn't. Florida,
I've been in
yeah.
Florida.
How much you want to bet? Like, the electoral, when the vote goes in for the electoral college, it's supposed to be based on the population vote, but the person that goes in for the electoral vote, they can pick either party. They don't have to go off of what the majority was in their state.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
Everything about our government is a lot of bullshit right now.
Well, that's, yeah,
No, I'm saying, like, the one thing I will say is, by actually, like, study of, like, the governmental structure, what little I've done, I love what this country stood for, like,
Yeah,
200 years ago.
The principles are good, but how they're being applied, you know.
I agree.
A lot of
Like, the democratic system itself has some issues, but I mean, like, we have a whole lot of wonderful rights. We have the ability to do a whole lot of incredible things. We are able to basically, no matter who you are, you can build yourself up to a multimillionaire. You're allowed to. Like, there is no caste system here.
Yeah.
It's better, and it's getting better.
It's theoretically not there. Like, it's always possible. It's just not really.
You have to be a bear. To be fair, though, like, there's a glass ceiling for nice people.
Say what?
If you're a nice person,
You can't get anything done.
you can't advance very easily.
Yep.
That's true.
Some people
That's
want
very true.
aggressive, nasty people. They think
That's
they
why
do a job.
I'm trying to, like, discourage the whole notion that nice guys never finish first.
No, I'm not saying like that you shouldn't be a nice person, but like.
Less frequently. I'll say that.
I will always take Intoctrination. Because I think that, well, like I said last time I was here, internet rules everything. So therefore that nice guy has the same access to resources as that evil dude over there.
Yeah, the downside is that the nice guy, and for the sake of being kind to others and not trying to hurt others, won't always be willing to, like, say, step on someone to get ahead.
Right.
If they need
Before we get too into this, I'm totally going to make this a topic sometime.
Go for it.
So, we'll have an entire discussion of the nice guys finish last.
So the reason I don't say they finish last, I say less frequently, because you don't always need to step on someone to get ahead. But
You can get ahead just by having allies.
yeah, but people who aren't nice are going to be willing to step on people, so there's going to be more of them getting ahead because they're willing to sacrifice others to do it.
That's why we have to recognize as a society. Don't let jerks win.
I think a
Stop
lot.
letting them.
I think a lot of the problems with the patriotism thing comes a lot, especially with politics, is the false dichotomy. It's say,
Oh, yeah.
either you vote Democrat or you vote Republican. You know, if you don't do this, then you are this. And then people will go, they're absolutely correct, instead of thinking about the hidden.
Yeah, the agendas, or just saying like,
Like, if you want a
Vote
better
for-
America, you should vote for Romney.
no, if you want to like vote for the person that you agree with, and it could be like a third party person with 10 votes.
That's what
If you agree with what they're doing, vote for them.
Vote for the
If
person.
everybody did that, we'd have a much more richer, interesting government.
For example, there was a debate about should we choose Romney, should we choose Obama, and I suggested, why don't you try to vote for the person instead of the party? And this one girl come on, she says, I've always been a Democrat, so I will always vote Democrat. And I was like, okay, all right, suppose there was a Republican that stood for lowering college tuition, that stood for,
Pro-choice, yeah, the pro-choice.
yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, that guy similar to Ron Paul, even though I don't think he's the best guy either. But, and imagine if you're a Democrat wanted to instill Christian values in everything. You wanted to raise college tuition and make it only available to certain people. That means not everybody can go to college and other things like that. Would you still vote Democrat? And she was like, no, and I was like, all right, there you go.
And I'm pretty sure there's been people that have wanted all those things you just listed.
Oh yeah, of course.
There's always people who kind of cross both sides, but
They're called independent.
yeah, but usually they'll try and get backed by one of the main parties just to get the funding. That's the that's where the trouble comes
This
in.
country's been indoctrinated to believe that Democrats and Republicans are the only way to go.
Yeah, and in addition to that, what your comment is, oftentimes people won't vote for third parties because they feel like it won't matter because the guy won't win anyway.
But if enough
That's
people
part of the problem.
vote for that guy, he
And
might
that-
win.
Yeah.
And that gives the mentality of, okay, I'm gonna vote for the guy that I hate the least.
Exactly.
And that's why I vote for Obama, because, even though I find flaws with him, several serious flaws, I'm like, okay, I hate him less than I hate Mitt Romney.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put the guy who I hate less back in office.
Yeah.
Because I know if I throw my vote to a third party, I'll be trashing my vote, and essentially voting for Romney anyway.
But if everybody trashed their vote, then it wouldn't be trash.
But that's what people do it. Exactly.
Because that's false dichotomy. If you don't vote Democrat, then you're Republican.
It's not false dichotomy, it's self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, but false dichotomy does play a big part in it, because people tell you that Democrat and Republican are the only way to go. Those other guys are trash. They're not a choice. Some people even believe that if you vote for a third party, somehow that vote will still go to
The opposing.
Yeah,
that's what I believe.
Republican.
And that's because statistics tell me that.
That doesn't make any sense.
I don't understand it either myself.
But it's,
I've had like a similar conversation with other people. Like that, to me, is the idea of you voting for a third party somehow like removing your vote from the pool or something like that.
It's like there's less people to vote for the other side.
Yeah,
let's do the vote for the guy who you want.
But you don't want him if you're voting for a third party.
Well, again, going back to the point where I was saying, like, I'm voting for the guy who I would hate least in office.
Mm-hmm.
I really despise Mitt Romney. I think that he would throw our country backwards.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I give my vote to a third party, that would be taking away a vote from Obama, and therefore giving Mitt Romney another chance of more of a shot to win the nomination.
So you think that the third party pool is nothing but a bunch of wild card votes where people just start picking out and going Obama?
Yeah.
Oh, we only have 3 people. I thought 9 people were watching at once. Never mind.
Well, I'm not a watcher, so I'm sure that
Just went up.
There's 4 people now.
Yes.
We're popular.
Then you also have the whole indoctrination that America is indeed the best country. And
I know
We've been trained with that since birth.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
This is the best country, and you should be proud of this. And you know what? Like David said, there are a lot of good things in this country.
There's also much more bad things.
But there's also a lot
That
of horrible
is debatable.
No, it's not. Every single social health parameter, we're one of the worst. We assassinate dozens upon hundreds of people in foreign countries.
Foreign country.
And our country.
We're still going around murdering people for some sort of cause.
So given a due process to say which one's the terrorist. But it's U.S. citizen.
Isn't that because of the NDAA bill that was signed? That
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
keep
But
ignoring.
collateral damage has been redefined. If you're like if you're a 16-year-old male or above, you deserve to be killed.
Yeah, you're no longer considered collateral damage. You're just like there's some other term for it. I can't remember.
It's like if a bomb goes off in a high school in some other country and all of the men there die, then it doesn't matter. Like we write it off as if nothing happened because we redefine collateral damage.
They've even tried to redefine the word rape.
Oh, and
That
I think
we're
about
still
trying to
working
make
on that.
something with rape amendment in the Constitution. Like, if you
That's
do,
just a creepy thing to put in the Constitution.
it has to do with abortion, rape and abortion.
Yeah, like that, like redefining rape
No,
in the Constitution.
not redefining rape in association with abortion.
I was trying to put an abortion onto the amendment.
That just sounds weird.
They might end up going to that at some point.
I think that's.
I don't think
that's
we
a
Well, I
very-
mean, it's to the Constitution anyway, so they're going to try to, discombobulate the Constitution however they want.
The elastic clause.
What?
But again, we're still indoctrinated that America is the best country. The thing is, I've known people who once lived in America and lived in other countries, and they're saying, hey, I like this place better than America. Like, there's a guy that's living in Korea right now. He lived in America for a while. He moved to Korea, and he was like, I don't want to come back to the United States. I love Korea. You know, he stated his reasons, that people don't bother him. He's still allowed to do some of the things, that he wouldn't be able to do here. I mean,
I think
it's
it's
all
in the
kinds of
South,
talk.
right?
Huh?
South.
South Korea. No, not
I think
No,
it's
absolutely
really
not.
before
So, I mean, it's, again, it's subjective. You can't really declare that America's the best country. Think about it. America has done a lot of things that are very questionable. Like, for example, we spend approximately 40% of our earnings on our military and defense force.
Yes, they're always asking for donations.
And we're the number one country. You want to know what second place is? China. And China spends approximately 10% of their budget.
It takes
Look how
next.
huge it is.
If you have like if you have like the world, well, of course it is. If you have like the world's military spending, we constitute half of it, and to meet the amount of money we spend, it takes the next 12 countries.
Yep.
And we are all
and that's
over.
why
How
I
many,
think defense should be cut.
how many Korean military bases do you see in percent? How many?
How many military bases of any kind that aren't American in America?
Exactly. I don't think that's a
We have one
quality.
in Canada.
I don't think that's exactly. I don't think that's a quality of a best country. I mean, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but at the same time, we do have like freedom of religion, freedom of speech in theory. We have we do still have them, and we have the ability to fight the government,
And
which
we're-
is something that you don't have in a lot of places.
And
So I
we're-
will say that there are very good things about this.
Exactly. I'm not denying that. And also, we're also indoctrinating other countries. We're telling them that if you put McDonald's in your country, your economy will look up.
Oh.
McDonald's in Iraq now.
There was McDonald's in Venice.
That basically.
But they have better food, and it's healthy.
Which is ironic. It is actually healthier. They have like much better options than we get here.
Yeah, and like China, you can get rice with that big bag.
Rice with like
They have
you get on your Big Mac.
overseas, food standards here.
And not to mention, I'm just giving reasons to believe. I mean, I'm not trying to downplay America totally, but I'm giving reasons why we're not. We should be considered the best country because we're mostly an import country. We don't really make things anymore. I'm sure our franchise could go overseas like McDonald's and Walmart stuff, but how many things do you see made in USA in other countries?
Almost.
Lots and lots of weapons.
Car mats. That's about it.
It's really
That's
bad.
the only company I know that makes like.
Car mats and weapons.
That's the only company I can think of that makes entirely.
What's that? Harley Davidson.
Okay.
They make good motorcycles.
No, Jeeps aren't made here anymore.
Wow.
If they got physically been to the Harley Davidson factory, that's the only reason I know it's here.
Coin.
Like,
Unless they knock us out.
ironically, a lot of foreign auto manufacturers produce cars in the U.S., but many of the domestic brands, aside from like the ones in Detroit, don't really have factories in the U.S. at all.
That's just silly.
Yeah, That's the economy,
That's
right?
So before you just scream out, America's the best, you should kind of.
We should do research.
Don't let these ultra nationalists tell you that America's the best, and if you don't agree, you're un-American, and you should get out of my country. Don't listen to those people. You should do the
Question everything, internet.
Exactly. Question everything. That's the problem with indoctrination. When people are indoctrinated, they don't question everything. They just go on autopilot. They let somebody instill a chip into their head and just go. Even if it's off a cliff, they just go. They don't stop at the cliff and say, oh, maybe I should fall off a cliff. They just go. That's the problem. Indoctrination, let's make
So,
people
it's bad
go.
when you're actually, this happens to a lot of people. And this is why, like, there's people that, like, shift from, like, alcoholism or something to religion to, like, another religion. It's when you're indoctrinated to be indoctrinated. When you're basically, when you're trained to not question authority figures. There's a whole lot of people like that. So when you're, it's kind of like the overly aggressive parents. They're just like, I am your parent, I am your authority figure, you have to listen to me. So then when people, they get in horrible relationships, they get into horrible jobs, because it's basically when you're told to go somewhere, you'll do it. And that's why we have like a nation of sheep. And like, I hate to say it, but like a whole lot of these people instantly fall into stereotypical religion. Because
Isn't part of that also the essential idea of the military?
yeah.
Why don't we ever?
Fall down, do not question.
And I'm a former soldier myself.
Because
So,
we like
I was
bullshit.
subject to it at one time.
Okay, we like this.
Oh, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, she brought that up.
All right, last 10 minutes, let's talk about solutions. How do we get people to not be all sheepish?
Education.
Education!
Done. Next problem, please.
I like this guy.
Yes,
So,
even education.
let's run with the education idea. So,
No, one of the
big
things,
problem with education right now is it's underfunded. How do we fund it?
I have a great,
Defense budget.
no,
Yeah,
there's a magic.
Churches.
Wait, what?
Act churches. There's, I
That
think
would
it's,
actually be really interesting.
I think it's like $7.8 billion.
Yeah.
That we could just shove that into, no, like, one of the easy, I've heard this statistic or something before, one of the best ways to improve universal education for everybody is to have 3 preschools.
3 or free?
3.
Okay.
No, 3. You need only 3.
That's like a lot.
You got a match with that one. No, if you have extremely good, like really well-educated, well-trained teachers for preschools and like beginnings of elementary school. Because when you instill very basic principles like question stuff, critical thinking, play nice with others, and share, like all those stupid little things you learned in preschool, they're extremely important to future education. Because at the very least, you get people engaged in learning.
So you should send your kids to school when they're 3 years old.
So how would you convince?
If it's
So
free.
like the likely.
If it's free.
No, how would you convince people in like the inner city to do this?
If it's free.
How do you get the teacher?
Cost is the big thing with it.
You need funding. If you have like, these are the Pennsylvania elementary school X4 or something, it'll be like, this is where the children in that district go. They'll be public schools.
Okay.
And it's just,
Sometimes it just adds on to like elementary schools, like they have preschool programs.
yeah. Like, and it's all about funding. If we just put more money into but like the thing is, it costs almost nothing compared to like a high school. High schools require a lot of money.
Yeah.
But it doesn't cost a whole lot of money to have a preschool. And so it's like, it's one of the cheapest, most effective ways to basically improve the entire country.
What can we do? Like, we as in students, or we as in, what do you define as we?
The best thing to do, I say,
Let
for
people
every,
know.
the best thing to do for every individual, I say, is if you concentrate on educating the youth in your family. You know, it starts at the family. It starts at the little kid. It starts at your little brother, your little sister, your little cousin, your little niece, all that stuff. If you teach them these small values that David was just talking about, you know, share, be nice to others, question everything, that stuff, then that will spread on. Hopefully people will hold on to that as they grow up, and then any little family members or kids that they meet you know, it's all about spreading knowledge. It's all about spreading certain ideologies, but question all these things. You know, don't just totally take my word for it.
So
But-
how would you become more influential than everything else that exists in society, like compared to, like, say, a celebrity?
That's very tough.
Yeah, how are you gonna
Because-
outdo the Kardashians?
Yeah, that's very tough. And there's that indoctrination that because I'm a celebrity, I'm an authority on everything. A lot of people have that mentality.
I would say the solution would be to become wealthy. Because what I think a lot of these celebrity figures are attributed with is that they're known to make money. And
But
people-
they're scientists who are wealthy, but people don't listen to
I
them.
know, well, some
This
people,
is-
some
no,
people
you
are
see,
some
this-
doctors and stuff, but not as much.
This-
Let me finish. So, in America, essentially the American dream is to become rich.
Of course.
If you had to sum it down to one thing, become
It
rich.
pretty much is.
So, people who are celebrities are
Yeah.
people who are typically rich, so they're considered success. And
Yeah.
I think people listen to them for that reason.
So if you change the American, so you're saying change the American dream? Change it, be educated,
or
be discovered.
fulfill the American dream and change the message.
No. This is what you do. I've been preaching this for a long time. We need to stop thinking about the American dream and start thinking the American reality.
Ooh.
I like that, let's make a poster.
But I feel like you have to be the American dream to have enough influence to fit the American reality.
Well, I mean, like, this is to add on to that, like, we're starting to move into that sort of thing that you're kind of hinting at. Like, there are scientists that are very wealthy, that they're retired, and now that they're retired, their sole job is public understanding of science. So, like, Neil deGrasse Tyson, well, he's not retired, but Richard Dawkins, his entire life is nothing but going places to talk about how awesome science is.
That's awesome.
And we need
But
more of that.
they're not, I feel like they're not as influential though. Like, I don't know who Richard Dawkins is. I know who Neil
I
deGrasse
don't know
Tyson
who
is.
Tyson is.
Okay.
It's like they're getting more popular. than-
Because America doesn't deem them interesting. What's more interesting is what people do at parties, how drunk they can get, how many drugs they can get, how much money they can make, how much sex they can
Well,
have.
if you
That's what
did
interests
drugs, you know how much
Americans.
money you would have?
Do you know how many loose women there are when there's drugs around?
And that's the problem. We're indoctrinated to believe that, ooh, if I can make enough money,
It's like, I don't
to party
understand
and do
it.
drugs,
Like after the party, you're just like, that was pretty awesome. Now what am I doing?
do it again.
Yes.
That's the mentality again.
But that's really stupid. You'll burn out in like 10 years.
Exactly.
They don't care. It's because it's all about the now and not the later. We are.
I only
we
think
are.
later.
We've been indoctrinated. We've
We
been
have
indoctrinated.
1 minute.
Okay.
What are you indoctrinated on?
We've been indoctrinated to become a McDonald's society. We want it here and now, and that's how we live. A lot of us.
Yes, we do. We should fix that. Teach the children. Education. Drexel Freethought Society.
Like we
Sorry, we're actually done. We're out of time. Join us in the chat next week. Email us. Visit our website at drexelfreethought.org. Join our forums. Join the website. Talk about stuff. Lots of fun things are happening in the future. And now we're done. Goodbye.